Good afternoon, Flosstube. My name is Mandy. Welcome to my channel, all about cross stitch. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, if you're returning, welcome to everybody. Today is Thursday, January 11th. I hope everyone had wonderful holidays, Happy New Year, and all that good stuff. This is Stitches. Say hi. Oh, you hear the squeak. That is Stitches. My last video was that I posted was my whip parade, so thank you for all of the love on that. I know it was quite a feature-length one. I got a little chatty. I don't have quite as much to share today, so I do not anticipate another hour and 40+ minute video. But if you are new to my channel after having watched my video, thank you for coming and sticking around. And also I want to say a huge thank you to Carla Being Crafty. Thank you, Carla, to your very sweet shout out. I think it was not on her most recent video, but the one before that. There was a day that I was playing catch up. I had a few of her videos to watch, and she mentioned having found my channel. And so thank you so much, Carla. That was very sweet of you to give me a little shout out. Love Baggy. He's adorable. As you can see, we are definitely a black cat family, so I love all the black cats. For those that are new here, the cat that just ran off, like I said, her name is Stitches, and she's such a little doll. I absolutely adore her. Love all things black cats. As you can see, that is a diamond painting from Diamond Art Club. I do not remember the name of it. I've got the name of it covered, so I don't remember the name of it. This is also diamond painting from Diamond Art Club. It is a calendar. I got that for Christmas. And so if you've been with my channel before, you remember seeing there was an eagle there. I moved that piece to be able to have the calendar in a place that I could at least be able to, you know, functionally use the calendar. So I do actually have some really great stuff to share today. Yeah, I've got a finish for now, a couple new starts. We got it all. So let's just dive right in, shall we? I don't think I had any other preamble-y stuff. Just wanted to say thank you to Carla for that shout out. Welcome new viewers. I did notice that my subscription count went up a little bit, so thank you for checking me out and sticking around a little bit. I am a huge Shinedown fan, and so this sweatshirt is from Shinedown logo. Obsessed with that band. Anyways, yeah, I was hoping to be able to get this finished before what my whip parade. I know I shared it there. I was able to finish it very shortly after that whip parade, though. Pretty sure this was my final finish of 2023, and I'm pretty sure I got 23 finishes in the year of 23. So here we go. This is Fight Like a Girl from Forbidden Fiber Co. This is stitched on the Forbidden Fiber Co. Dyed fabric. Rose petal, I think is what the fabric is. Very beautiful fabric. I'll have to try to frame it in a way that I can use some of that for scrap, you know, small pieces or something. Love the saying though, some women are lost in the fire, some women are built from it. So I mentioned last time I had to order some more floss, but I got that floss in and we were able to get it all finished up. Love this. So glad to have it done. Yeah, I was going to mention something else and I don't remember what. But yes, so glad to have this finished. I started this in May of 2021. And so to finally get it done off of my whip list by the end of 2023 was great. Just there was no reason for it to have lingered as long as it did. It sat unstitched for a far too long, so I'm glad to have it done. I was using it as a bit of a strand a day in December, and then it got to a point where I could see a finish was coming, so I went a little ham on it. Oh. Something has been going on with my iPad lately, and I've got pictures in Google Photos to be able to like hold up my iPad to show what I'm talking about. And they are just, they're not wanting to come into focus. My iPad is like, I keep getting messages about it being full. And so there's been things that I've been deleting and clearing out. And I tried doing a system update. It won't do it because I'm assuming because it's out of space. And the picture I wanted to share won't come into focus. So, I mean, it definitely looks more focused on screen. I'm not gonna be able to zoom in very well for what I wanted to share. This is Halloween Quaker from Lila's Studio, and last year I divided it out so that I could finish it in a year, and so I am on track to finish this in July of this year. And so I finished the December portion. Since I showed it last, I didn't have my December portion finished, and so I've got that now. But that's really disappointing that that won't focus. I can't do the whole editing for that reason. I think the reason why I kind of stopped doing any kind of editing is because the devices that I use just max out, and anytime I try to do a new video, it won't save because I don't have any device storage. So here is where we are. I can see through the fabric to show it all. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count Picture This Plus in jade. And so this is the portion that we have done. And when I stitched it last, what did I even work on? This portion here at the bottom. It's been a while since I've looked at this piece, so I didn't remember what I did. But I did this little Quaker motif and the hearts and the little doodad here. So in the pattern instructions, it mentioned the W on here being for witch, and then the H here being for Halloween. There is a portion, again, if I could make this thing focus, right down in here. Stitches. Quit messing with that cord. Right down in here somewhere is a portion that I can be able to put in my initials and the year. We all know what that looks like. I can't get the thing to focus. So that'll be the last portion that I work on in July. But for now, I still have my January portion to stitch, but this is where we are at. I do have this in Pattern Keeper minus the back stitching, and so I think the last I saw was a little over 50%. I do still have to do the back stitching on the spider web, but that'll be one of the last things I do. It's long stitches and I don't want the Q-snap to mess that up at all. So that is my Lila's Studio Halloween Quaker. My next piece is a new start. Let's get the thread to the back. I fell in love with this piece as soon as I saw it. Grief Knows No Bounds. This was created from the Stitchers for Peace initiative. I love anything with birds, and so then to have the story behind this, it was a must stitch. So Michelle got me the pattern over to me yesterday, and I started it last night. So if you haven't seen it before, this is there's 5 stitchers involved in designing it, and so they've contributed towards it. We've got Marumi Designs. I'll get them down. Ian Rosen, Yasmin's Made with Love, Michelle Bendy, and Crafty Yams. So each designer contributed something towards it. And it was this poem that Michelle read on her Flosstube that just absolutely gutted me, and I knew I needed to stitch it. So around the outer edge is the poem, and so I forget now the order of where they're at, but and which direction they go. But a line is in Farsi, Arabic, Hebrew, and English. And so the English translation is human beings are members of a whole in creation of one essence and soul. If one member is inflicted with pain, other members uneasy will remain. If you have no sympathy for human pain, the name of human you cannot pertain. And so it was created in honor, memory is not a good word for it. Palestine. Ceasefire. These are human beings. So it was that poem that absolutely made me need to stitch this. So thank you to those designers for creating such a beautiful piece and allowing us to stitch some feelings out of this world we're living in. So I do have it on the Q-Snap. This was a 10:30 p.m. last night start on a whim. I went through all of my fabric. So it's not much. It's not even fully stitched all the way around. I don't know why I decided to start with the black outer border. But I do have it all the way around, at least half stitched to begin with. And so then I'll be diving into creating, adding more to it. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count Bestitch Me in Ledger. And this was just a beautiful piece to let the pattern sing. So I love that so many elements within the pattern represent different things. The border, part of the border represents the river, part of the border represents to the sea, or the sea, ocean, from the river to the sea. To represent the saying, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, I think is what it is. The cardinal to remember those we've lost. I don't have them all known at this point. The raven. The different designers involved referenced what they added to the piece and kind of a reason why. Let's see. Raven is a bird that symbolizes turning ideas and thoughts into action. Michelle added the Palestinian sunbird was adopted as the official bird of Palestine in 2015 in response to an attempt at renaming by the Israeli Authority. Reading from her statement in the pattern. So it's a beautiful piece, and these designers have done it well, and a lot of emotions behind it. It's one of those things of, I don't know what I can do, what can small channels like me, what can small Instagram pages, what can we do? So at least I can stitch some emotion behind the whole tragedy. So that is my piece. I guess we're gonna switch using my iPad since that's not wanting to work for me right now. Next new start. This is Carolyn Manning's Ruby from the Shooting Star collection. I have started this. We can show the piece. Those reds are just incredible. I have decided to stitch this for the Carolyn Manning round robin that I'm doing with the gals that I stitched last year with the ink circles. As you can see, like, that's the cover page of the pattern. Real high tech over here. The Shooting Star, this particular one, comes with that one pattern, but then it breaks it down. You get 4 smaller versions, and so I'm doing one of those smaller ones. So eventually, that's not what I wanted to collect. Oh. Eventually, it'll look like this. I have a very, very, very piddly start. This was my New Year, new start. I've got hair bugging me in my face. There. I think I had a hair on my eyelash. I started this New Year's Day. Obviously, I haven't worked on it very much at all. This is stitched on a piece of 14 count Bestitch Me Grog, I think is the name of it. Even though it's going to be a full coverage piece, I did not want to stitch white on, well, that's not white, but I did not want to stitch on white fabric. I do that enough with my full coverage pieces. So I decided to find a really pretty dyed fabric, and so I started it on this. And I think when I get it framed, I want to have some of the material actually showing rather than just butting it right up to the piece. So that is, I think, 2, maybe 3 shades of red. It is all reds and pinks. So I hope the gals do not get too tired of stitching with reds and pinks. Each person's portion is only about 1,600 stitches, so far cry from what it was my last piece for my ink circles. So that'll be fun to stitch on. I just gotta actually spend some time on it. Alrighty, next piece. Country Cottage Needleworks. Yes, Spring Birds. Love the colors of this piece. I picked this piece up. I only put, I don't know, maybe 200 stitches into it. But it was the first progress it saw since last summer. So when I picked it up, I had the bird started, so a little bit of the orange started. So I finished out the bird and then did the flower, so it'll come down. This is stitched on a piece of coloring cotton grab bag. I'm pretty sure it's a 16 count. It could be an 18 count. I'm leaning towards 16 though. No clue what the name is. It was a grab bag piece, so it was unnamed. But I love it. This was started, gosh, I want to say this was a 2021 start as well. That really hasn't seen a whole lot, that if I could actually work on it, it wouldn't take much to finish it. I seriously do not understand why this thing is not focusing. As you can see, I have an iPad, but I also have a tablet because Pattern Keeper. Oh, I love this piece. I cannot get enough of this piece. And it was truly a debate of whether I wanted to make this my focus piece this year or not. Mini Sea Opal Elizabeth Welker, chartered by Heaven and Earth. I am stitching this for my mom. 16 count white Aida, 2 strands, full across. I got a lot done. I think I worked on this 2 days this past week. Well, it was last weekend, so like Friday and Saturday. And I got, gosh, almost 1,000 stitches done, I think. It's in my Q-snap crooked, so it looks really crooked right there, but it's just how I have it in the Q-snap. It's not stitching crooked. Michaels will get it stretched out just fine. So, this is the end of page 2. And so when I was working on it last, I was going across into page 2 a little bit, so that's why it's not like a straight edge anymore. But yeah, I picked a symbol and stitched as far as I could go. I love doing that with my full coverage pieces. Great way to just kind of handle filling in. Yeah, there's just kind of lots of random colors all over the place, so easy way to really start filling in. Like, yeah, I just picked a symbol and stitched as much as I could. And that's why it's kind of falling down around here, is because I was just following the symbol. So, I love this piece. And when I finish my next whip that I'm going to show, this will probably end up turning into a focus piece for the year. I don't anticipate getting sea opal done this year, but it would be nice to make some great progress on it because, again, I am stitching it for my mom, and so it just would be nice to be able to get it finished so that she can enjoy it. This is my focus piece for the year. I can't get enough of these colors either. So, funny story. My mom reached out to my BFF Crystal to find out what is my favorite color. There was I think it ended up being the coffee mug that I was drinking out of last in my whip parade. Something on there to get a background color. And so my mom was asking Crystal, what is my favorite color? And Crystal was like, I don't know that she really has one, which I don't. She's like, I think, green and yellow for Green Bay colors, Green Bay Packers. But, otherwise, really gem tones. I've got another diamond painting that has purples and teals, blues, that's kind of what Crystal was referring to. And so, yeah, I do not have a favorite color. I like colors, bright colors. Like, I adore working on these blues. I'm obsessed with working on these purples. So, that's my story. Yeah. So, I am currently at just over 45%. Can't need that anymore. We need to take this off the keys, at least part of it off the key snap. Since I shared it last, I have finished a page. So that's about as much off the key snap as we're gonna get. So we are at 45.3 something percent complete. When I first picked this up at the beginning of the year, it was 42%-ish. I don't remember. I know I mentioned in my whip parade. This is my focus on a finished piece. This is my oldest full coverage project, and it's time it gets done. So yeah, I have put in over 4,000 stitches. I finished page 8, I think. So like this portion over here was page 8. I could be wrong. But yeah, I've got I know just the other night I was looking that I've got like almost 4,000 stitches to reach 50%. So I'm not sure that this is really going to take me. I mean, if you look at, I would say pretty close to finishing. This is a page that's like 8 stitches wide. So this, finishing this page should take me right about to the 50% mark to getting this piece completed. So it was funny, Time Hop showed me posting a picture a year ago, just within the past few days, one day this week, of mini stitching Moon. If you were with me a year ago, you know that I got absolutely obsessed with stitching that Amy Stewart piece. That I had, so Time Hop showed me having finished a page or whatever, I had posted a milestone that I had gotten completely obsessed with that piece and had already stitched over 3,000 stitches at that point. I'm not too far behind that. I think when I saw that picture, it was maybe 2,500 stitches or so I haven't done for the year. But I'm loving the piece already. I definitely have more to finish this year on this piece than I did a year ago on Stitching Moon. So Stitching Moon sat for all of 2022, picked it up as a focus piece in 2023 I just saw the other day, it was like 59% complete. And so after the piece had sat for an entire year not being touched, I was curious how quickly I could get I never anticipated finishing that piece in April, and it was like early to mid-April that I finished that piece. I couldn't believe how quickly I flew through that. Now, with this one having more to stitch than I did last year, you know, I'm not necessarily seeing it being a April finish, but I think at the pace that I've gone so far, it would put me into a May finish. So, do with that as you will. I'm obsessed with full coverage stitching, though. I mentioned it in my Whip Parade. Full coverage stitching is my jam. So, loving working on that piece. Definitely a focus piece to, you know, different Facebook groups and all of that, you know, different challenges and all of that kind of stuff. So, but it'll be interesting to see how quickly I can get that piece done because it's beautiful and I want it on my wall. So the last piece to share, I'm not going to show anything on my iPad or anything because there's really nothing else to show at this point besides what I have stitched. So this is a finish for now. Excuse me. Forbidden Fiber Co. Gilmore Isms. So if you are a fan of Gilmore Girls, then this piece is for you. So this is a mystery stitch along. In December, we got the frames. So basically just these, literally just the frames. You can tell I have not stitched ahead at all. It was my intention to, but that didn't happen. And then each week on Mondays, we're getting a new drop. So last week we got Cat Kirk. So it says, he's smart, he knows things. And there are French knots in there that I got them done on the first try. I absolutely adore that, because we never saw Cat Kirk on the show. But I absolutely adore that Leanne from Forbidden Fiber Co. made Cat Kirk a black cat. Did I tell you how much I'm obsessed with black cats? So we have no clue what color Cat Kirk would be, but I adore that Cat Kirk is a black cat. And so then the newest drop was just this past Monday, and it says, he said my magic risotto was fine. If you know the show, Suki had a food reviewer say that her famous magic risotto was fine, and she chased down it, and it all was because of the wine he had with it. He didn't like the combination of the two. So great episode, this entire series. While it's got its problematic moments that did not age the greatest, I still love the show and I'm obsessed with it. My needle minder, Abby Top Knot Stitcher Shop, I'm pretty sure I actually won that as a giveaway. I remember getting that long ago. It's been a while. So this is stitched on a piece of 16 count Forbidden Fiber Co. dyed fabric in Casablanca. It is a very, very pale blue. It's looking kind of gray, but it's definitely grayish blue. That's pretty true. So that is the last of my whips. Yeah. But the only thing to show is we're in January, so December fabric of the month from Bestitch Me. I would have gotten this right after filming my Whip Parade. But this was in Blue Moon. And Laura, Stitching by the Shore, if this is not your color, I don't know what else would be. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So, no clue what, actually I kind of have a clue what could go on this, but I don't know if I will or not. For the longest time sitting here on my coffee table, I had a Autumn Lane pattern. Moons out, brooms out, I think is what it says. So brooms out maybe? That called for being on a really dark blue. Well, I didn't have anything that dark that I finally just put that fabric away. I had the flosses pulled and I just hadn't started it yet. This is what that piece calls for. Not by name. I mean, it's not the called for, but it's this shade that piece. Watch that end up being my screen grab. Remind me of my brother-in-law when he takes a picture, everything has to be covering his face. But yeah, that is a stunning blue. No clue what I'm gonna stitch on that. Who knows? I mean, I thought I was going to start that Autumn Lane piece months ago and I just never did, so. Yeah, that's about all that I have to share today. Plans is definitely getting to Grief Knows No Bounds. I still need to get some flosses for that. I probably have all of the flosses in the 11 full coverage projects that I have, but I tend to like having flosses together for each project just so I don't have to go digging for things. So if I want to keep working on that piece, I may end up just finding a project that it's in and pulling. It's DMC, I'm not worried about die lots changing and all of that kind of stuff for the full coverage pieces, so I'll eventually get to the store and get some more of those. But we are expecting a storm this weekend. Michigan, get your act together. We had snow on Halloween, no snow for Christmas. In fact, it was 40 degrees on Christmas Day. So here it is in January. I think we're making up for what we should have gotten in December. We've gotten snow in the last couple of days. This morning I woke up, like, there was all kinds of Weather Channel alerts saying heavy snow. So I woke up this morning to my truck being covered in snow. Very thankful that I don't have any kind of a commute besides bedroom to living room because I work at home. So I didn't have to worry about cleaning off my truck. Well, tomorrow there's a huge storm coming, and I'm sure it's, from what I've seen, it's going across more than just my portion in Michigan. So if you are in its path, stay safe, stay inside, stay warm, stay cozy and stitching. So I think I was just looking at the weather app and it looks like tomorrow night we're supposed to be getting 3 to 5 inches, possibly. It's Michigan, so it seems like there's been multiple times that we've had these storms predicted that we are lucky to get a dusting, and then there's other times that we get, 10 inches and they're expecting 5. So, we could get anywhere from a dusting to who knows how much. There was one page that I saw on the Weather Channel that said something about we could end up with 7 inches of snow within the next 48 hours. But yet I go and read the description of the different days' anticipated weather. Tomorrow night, 3 to 5, I have no clue where that additional 2 inches is coming from to have up to 7 inches within the next 48 hours. So who knows? But it is Michigan. It's winter. We get a lot of the lake effect snow from the 5 lakes that surround the state. So, I've definitely noticed over the years global warming is a thing, whether people want to believe it or not. Our winters are definitely not usually as severe as I remember them being when I was a kid. So, there is that, but it's really hard to say how much snow we could actually end up getting. So, if we do get that kind of snow, though, I guarantee you I'm going to be home, cozied up, stitching. I am supposed to be somewhere on Saturday, but I gave the person a warning that if we're getting that kind of snow, who knows what's going to happen. So, while I do have a 4-wheel drive vehicle, the person that I'm going to need to be covering, helping out, drives an HHR. You ain't getting anywhere in 5 feet of snow if you drive an HHR. 5 inches. We ain't getting 5 feet. No cutting material tonight, Mandy. You do not have the measurements in your head to properly cut material. 5 feet of snow. Where did that come from? Either way, 5 inches of snow and HHRs don't get along very well. I know I wouldn't want to go anywhere if I owned an HHR and we got 5 inches of snow. Anyways, with that, I think I'm going to leave you here. Keep stitching. Stitch on something that brings you joy. I know I'm going to get comfortable and get to stitching, figure out which piece I want to work on tonight. And yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Again, if you are in the path of this storm that's coming through the Midwest, Northeast, wherever it's going, I don't even know. Stay safe, don't go outside if you don't have to, if you're getting that kind of inclement weather. And yeah, keep stitching. So we'll see you again soon, and take care, everybody. Thanks for watching my channel. Thanks for all of your support. I don't say it enough. Appreciate each and every one of you. Take care.